Jenny's also found Richard in the 1871 census, when he was 18 years old, living in Hampstead, North London.
So there he is. This is 18. It's a scholar.
That's right.
Right. What? Blind? From birth?
That's right. There's a special column in the census denoting somebody's disability.
Right.
And if you look at the address, he's in a special school. It says blind school.
Right, yeah. God. God.
It's a few days later, and Martin is back at home.
Obviously, Leonard's story is great. It's fantastic that I've learned about it, and I'm really glad that I have. But I don't know if he had brothers or sisters. I don't know about his parents. Any of the meat on those bones, I would like to find out.
Martin's got a copy of Leonard's birth certificate, giving him the names of Leonard's parents, his own great-grandparents.
So his father was Richard William. So his mother was Ada Louise Freeman, formerly Meldrum. Rank or profession of father, organist. I would imagine that was quite a big deal. I'm looking up their marriage certificate to find out a little bit more about them. It says, sorry, we found no matches. They've got a birth certificate. Both of them have signed it. If they're both on a birth certificate, but there's no marriage certificate, I'd need to find out about them as individuals, because they're both obviously there.
Without a marriage certificate for Leonard's parents, Martin's hit a dead end. To get some help, he's arranged to meet genealogist Jenny Thomas.
Hello, Martin.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for seeing me.
Jenny may be able to solve the mystery of the missing marriage certificate.
I've hit a bit of a cul-de-sac, and I just need some help, basically.
Right. Quite a lot of people hit the same brick wall. Sometimes the marriage may not have taken place, but actually, sometimes as well, names have just slipped through the indexes. Human error, names slip through. But you can carry on building a family tree even without a document. And I've managed to do that a little bit with your great-grandfather, Richard William Freeman.
OK.
And I've got some documents
Lovely.
I think you might be interested in. This is the first one.
Thank you. So this is Richard's birth certificate. Right. Right, so he was born in 1853, Richard William. Well, he would have been quite old. He would have been quite old when he had Leonard. He would have been sort of 56 sort of thing.
Yes.
If he was born in 1909. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So he was born in Surrey?
He was, yes.
Right, OK, that's interesting. I don't know where St Olave's, I don't know where that is.
It's near the Bermondsey area.
That's very interesting, because Leonard was born in Hull. I wanted to find out how long the family had been in Hull, and so clearly they weren't always in Hull, because Richard was born in London.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
That's very interesting.
Jenny's also found Richard in the 1871 census, when he was 18 years old, living in Hampstead, North London.
So there he is. This is 18. It's a scholar.
That's right.
Right. What? Blind? From birth?
That's right. There's a special column in the census denoting somebody's disability.
Right.
And if you look at the address, he's in a special school. It says
blind school. Right, yeah. God. God. Right. Amazing. Amazing. I'm guessing this school is long gone, right?
It's certainly not in the same location. It's actually moved, but it does have an archive. Its records are preserved, and they're held at the Royal London Society of the Blind at its school in Kent.
Richard's school was run by the Royal London Society for Teaching the Blind to Read. In the 1950s, it moved to Sevenoaks in Kent.
Those lovely grounds. I'd love to find out about what life would have been like, and maybe if they've got anything about Richard. I'd be amazed if they've got anything about him specifically. I just imagine life being pretty tough for a blind person if you're born in 1853. Alison.
Hi.
I'm Martin.
How are you?
How you doing? Nice to meet
Fine,
you.
thanks. And you?
Good.
Martin's meeting Alison Neild, who's done some research in the school's archives.
We do have some photographs
Great.
that you can look at.
Right. Boxing. You wouldn't know any of them were blind, anyway. You know,
No,
it just looks like a
no.
load of boys playing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Looks like a beautiful place.
OK, well, I think we've got some more information here that you might find interesting.
Great.
I don't know if you can read it.
Oh, hello.
So from there...
Application was made by Mrs. Freeman of 37 Albert Street, Bermondsey, right,
yeah.
for the admission of a little boy, 8 years old, to the institution. He's been... Oh, man. He's been blind from his birth. His father is a mariner with 5 other children, and they pray to have him admitted at the lowest sum charged by the society. How fascinating.
His parents, obviously, were forward-thinking people.
Yeah.
And they had, by the look of it, 5 other children.
God.
So they would have had their work cut out to look after them and to make sure that Richard was on the right track, given his disability. So.
Yeah.
Richard Freeman's parents took advantage of progressive developments in blind education in Victorian Britain. Before, education for the blind had been sparse. Poor blind people often ended up on the streets as buskers or beggars. But by the middle of the 19th century, all that was to change. Victorian reformers were determined that the blind should live self-sufficient and independent lives. They set about establishing specialised schools for the blind, dedicated to literacy and vocational training. By 1871, when Richard Freeman was 18 years old, there were over 50 schools for the blind in Britain.
This makes interesting reading. It's the Ladies' Committee. Okay.
So what does that mean?
They sort of governed the school.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Richard William Freeman, having absented himself from the school
Since
the 1st of March, his parents informed us that he had falsely represented first that his holidays were for a whole week, and secondly, that he had returned at the end of them but was told to go home by matron for the purpose of undergoing an operation. He is to be sent to bed immediately after tea for 14 days, during which period he will also forfeit pudding for dinner. So he said to the school, I've got to go for a week, and he said to his mum,
yeah,
I've been sent for an operation. That's a mad lie, isn't it? It's a silly lie.
So obviously a bit of a tinker.
Yeah. I see, just up here as well, I see several of the pupils are qualified to undertake the situation of organist.
Yeah.
Was there a big musical input here?
Yeah, he would have learnt to play the organ here.
Right.
In the 19th century, music was thought to be a suitable profession for the blind. Many blind people were encouraged to train as organists and piano tuners, earning considerably more than their colleagues employed in the more traditional blind trades of furniture making and basket weaving. Piano tuners also received instruction in manners and etiquette, giving them a coveted entry into middle-class society.
I think I've got something else that might enlighten you.
OK.
So, there we go. We have Richard Freeman, entry 203. If you go across, you'll see that he became a tuner at Worthing, Sussex in 1887.
Blimey.
So he became a piano tuner.
Amazing. Yeah, I wonder why he went down there.